All right, if I go to YouTube, boom,
Want me to go to YouTube?
yes.
Go to home or shorts.
Just go to home. I'm live right now, but I can't find my channel. That's what I'm looking for. I don't think I'm able to. I don't know why I can't go live now.
How do I find you? Search Big Tom.
It's called. I called the stream boomered.
The stream boomers.
Boomered. Boomer ED.
The, the stream boomered.
Boomer ED. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
The channel's called Big Time.
So what do I search?
I just told you. The channel is Big Time. The name of the stream is Boomer ED. Just trying to make it as simple as possible.
So that's all I'm putting in there, boomers.
Holy shit. Big Time is the name of the channel, and Boomered is the name of the stream.
Well, so I put them both in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ladies and gentlemen. Now let's start here. Can you see and hear this? Can
I
you see
can't
and
see
hear
anything
this?
yet. It's black. The gray. Elmo's World.
Just what Elmo is wonderful. Oh, let's ask him.
This is the theme for the show today.
Hey, Mr. Noodle. Oh, it's Mr. Noodle's sister, Ms. Noodle. Hi, Ms. Noodle. Oh, Ms. Noodle, do you know about patterns? You do? Oh, do you see a pattern anywhere, Ms. Noodle? There, right there. Yeah, that's right, Ms. Noodle. The balls are in a pattern. There's a soccer ball, tennis ball, soccer ball, tennis ball, soccer ball. What comes next?
All right, theme of the show. You got it?
Soccer ball, tennis ball. Which one's big?
Patterns.
Patterns. Okay. I couldn't understand what he was saying.
All right.
How do I make your screen bigger?
Snap the fuck out
That's going to be
Okay,
you.
I got it.
You
I got it. I made it bigger. Okay, I can make it bigger. All right, I did.
All right. This is a couple weeks ago, I think, in Memphis. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is a panel of black women, okay? This is the show Divested Zealot. Remember you asked me about my co-host and the community she's a part of in Chicago? She's a part of the Divested community. This is a woman who has a channel in the Divested community. Her channel is called Divested Zealot. Her and a bunch of the women on the panel all live around Atlanta in Georgia, and a lot of them were in the medical field. Some of them still are. We're going to show a news story about 2 gas stations that were shut down because of crime, and I'm just going to allow them to speak, okay?
Mm-hmm.
shit, and it's all, and you will see that shit a lot in places, especially like Atlanta, where people fake it until they make it, and it's like.
In one North Memphis community, their corner stores are also the only place to buy nearby food.
That's right. Well, recently, 2 gas stations were shut down for being public nuisances because of all the problems, including drug buys and shootings.
I'll let it play.
ABC24's Jay Shakur says it has many neighbors feeling caught in the middle.
People I spoke with say Memphis police's efforts to shut down stores that have become a hotbed for criminal activity are long overdue. They're supportive of it, but are working to ensure that as these types of stores close, more options open. For some people in North Memphis, recent gas...
Can you hear this? Any problems?
I can hear it.
Can you hear? All right. Can you see it?
Yes.
Closures are a
Yes.
welcomed move, as some of these establishments have become breeding grounds for crime and illicit activity.
The top 2 things that they experience is there's a lot of drug dealing going on, there's a lot of shootings going on, there's a lot of drunkenness going on, and a lot of times they take that back to their households.
These advocates say the closures, though necessary, are not without consequence.
If they wanted us to improve as a community, they wouldn't have all these substances. They won't have all these substances.
Now we're halfway through. I can give you 5 off top. Y'all wanted them to close down the stores that have crimes and drugs. Okay, we closed it. Okay, so when you gonna bring me something back is their response. This young, I almost fucked up. This dude right here, he said, y'all want us to do better, but you're not giving us stuff. Nobody give a fuck about you doing better. You supposed to do better because you want to do better. It is not their responsibility to make sure you have access to stores. Then on top of that, the mammy is coming. Let's go.
These factories, these corner stores, and all this with unhealthy food.
This has been strategically done, where every corner there is a liquor store or there is not a grocery store.
Leaving no
She said it's been strategically done where they put a liquor store on every corner. Okay, where there's a very virile, dark-skinned black male next to you, why didn't you walk your motherfucking ass up to him and say, hey, we need a grocery store with healthy options in it? No, she's looking at the camera, looking like a drunk fuck, asking white people to do the shit. She's basically saying the strategy was to make sure that they didn't have nothing. But ma'am, your sons are the reason why that fucking place is closing. Several places are closing. You want it closed, but you want it open at the same time. You want them to and then you want to blame them for what's going on in your community. This shit is a clusterfuck of nonsense. This was strategically done. Ain't nobody thinking about y'all. If there was not so much crime in the area, your gas stations and your healthy options would still be there. Since they're gone and now the community is cleaned up, thanks to the cops, turn to those niggas that was over there on interview talking about they want to see us, they don't want to see us do better, and tell them to plant a fucking apple tree.
Do you understand the divested community now?
Yes.
So when you ask me, what does my co-host think and what's her mindset? Do you understand?
Well, I understood that was going to come. I mean, that was plain to me. Plain to me that, there are people in those communities who aren't drug
Black
addicts, who
people.
aren't violent. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who will not be
It's
putting up with this for
Memphis.
long. And it's going to turn. It's going to turn because when those people get fed up, I mean, they're going to start talking about it and they're not going to let it go on. I don't know about these other people who are in charge of these schools and who are acting all stupid. I don't know where that comes from, but I know it's not going to last. And I've told you that.
Where it comes from. I'm happy you said that. That today's theme is patterns. All right.
Patterns?
That's patterns. Where does it come from? I'm glad you said that. So there were activists. So the stores were being shut down, which I don't know how that helps. It's not the store's fault that people in the black community are doing what they do in Memphis. And the activists came out and said, why aren't you? It's strategic and all, blaming them, right? Okay.
Blaming them as who?
Weren't you listening? Blaming white people. Were you listening to what Divested Zealot said?
You call those people activists that are blaming white people?
Were you listening to the news clip? They said local activists have come forward to demand change. Do you want me to? Do I need
And
to play
I
it
don't
again?
think that woman she just addressed the woman who was talking, who was not an activist.
And the guy before her who was talking. The
I
news
didn't
called
see
them
him. I
local.
was holding the phone to my ear.
Yo, okay, that's cool.
What?
Let's go back. No, that's cool. Let's go back.
Thinking about y'all.
Memphis' recent gas station closures are a welcomed move, as some of these establishments have become breeding grounds for crime and illicit activity.
The top two things that they experience is there's a lot of drug dealing going on, there's a lot of shootings going on, there's a lot of drunkenness going on.
There's an activist there. Shootings and drug dealings by who?
What did he say?
Can you hear? Can you hear this?
Going on? I could hear it sometimes, but I didn't hear his words that he
For
used.
some people in North Memphis, recent gas station closures are a welcomed move, as some of these establishments have become breeding grounds for crime and illicit activity.
The top two things that they experience is there's a lot of drug dealing going on, there's a lot of shootings going on, there's a lot of drunkenness going on, and a lot of times they take that.
So shootings and drug dealings at gas stations. Did you hear that?
What was the last thing he said? I heard those two. What was the last thing?
Breeding grounds for crime and illicit activity.
The top two things that they experience is there's a lot of drug dealing going on, there's a lot of shootings going on, there's a lot of drunkenness going on, and a lot of times they take that back to their households.
These advocates say the closures, though necessary, are not without consequence.
If they wanted us to improve as a community, they wouldn't have all these substances. They wouldn't have all these substances.
Now we're halfway through.
So at these gas stations, there are shootings and drug dealings, and people are going home drunk. And here's another activist who said if they wanted us to succeed, they wouldn't allow all these substances around here. Who's they?
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
They.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And
You
then
call that's not an activist, is it?
all
Is
three
he
of
an
them.
activist?
Local activists. Local activists. Three of them. And that Divested Zealot said, nobody gives a fuck about you. And when the black woman was complaining, DZ, Divested Zealot said, well, why don't you turn to the men in your community and tell them to plant a fucking apple tree? So when you
Instead
say,
of
oh,
bullets.
when you said your co-host, oh, she's the divested community, you can watch DZ. It's an entire panel of black women. Remember how you told me to listen to black people? There, I'm listening to black people. Let's listen to more black people. Now, have you heard about the stores that are closing down? CVS and Walgreens are closing down in DC, and especially the one right outside of Prince George's County. Prince George's County is the second or third most wealthiest black suburb in the entire country. So if one more person says it's poverty, you can tell them to go jump in a fucking lake. Local residents upset, activists. Why are you closing down our stores?
Problem with a lot of these businesses are losing a lot of revenue because of the shoplifting thing, and a lot of people don't realize that. If you go to some of these shelves, especially in the Roxbury area, some parts of Dorchester as well, a lot of shelves are becoming empty because of shoplifting. I heard the AutoZone's having that same problem with people shoplifting.
Holding signs in protest, the communities of Color for Health Equity is demanding this Roxbury Walgreens remain open. The store is telling customers it will close next Monday, January 15th.
Sorry, this is Boston.
Many seniors and those without transportation now concerned how they'll get their prescriptions.
For Tim Winworth and Walgreens, this is all about business. But for us, it's a matter of life or death.
It's just the latest Walgreens to shut its doors in recent years, several in black and brown communities. And some say it's an insult to close on Martin Luther King Day.
How insensitive.
All right, guys, so we have to revisit a.
All right. I'm just playing the news clips. I don't care about.
Before rush hour, there was a lot of traffic. Even after the closure here on Warren Street, folks are showing up. That means every pharmacy in the area is about to get a lot busier.
The mayor, the representatives, Ayanna Presley, please keep on these people for letting these things in Roxbury close. It's a shame.
The Warren Street Walgreens is locked up, closed down for good. The disabled and seniors say it is sickening. They'll suffer the most. In the middle of the day, it took us 8 minutes to drive to the Columbus Avenue alternate Walgreens. All are now eligible for free same-day home delivery.
But that's not enough. We asked them for $10 million so that seniors would have transportation from their home to the.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Give us more money. This is the NAACP. Give us $10 million. What the fuck is he doing? Right?
That guy is the NAACP?
Can you hear this? Can you hear these videos?
I can. I can hear them, but I didn't know he was the NAACP.
I need.
Oh, just keep listening. This is Boston. We're going to get the DC. I got it all in one video for you.
The pharmacy open.
It's a shame, but I'm sorry for the people who lives in this area.
No, it's not over. No, it's not over.
After a month-long protest to try to save the Warren Street Walgreens, community members now want to sue.
The basis of the suit is what they call disparate impact. We know that they've been building and establishing Village Medical at Walgreens in the suburbs.
It is communities who have the least other options of where to get their medications filled, where the pharmacies are closing.
But you'd have have to take the bus from here up to Seaburn Blue or to Dudley to come.
Might fall. My legs give out on me a lot. It's going to be tough, not just for me, for other people too.
It's just tough to think about it all. While the door.
All right, and then where is it? Let's go. All right. And then patterns. So if the NAACP acts this way and activists act this way and the community acts this way, do you think black congresswomen are the same? What's the theme of the show? What's the theme of the
Boomered.
show?
Boomered.
Patterns.
Patterns.
Would a black congresswoman blame Walgreens for her community stealing? Does that make sense?
No, but I guess it's happening. Come here.
Closing their
Come here.
store.
Mr. Speaker, Walgreens is planning to close yet another.
Can you listen? Are you listening?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear this? Okay, here we go. Here's the congresswoman.
Another pharmacy in the Massachusetts 7th, this time on Warren Street in Roxbury, a community that is 85% Black and Latino. This closure is a part of a larger trend of abandoning low-income communities like the previous closures in Mattapan and Hyde Park, both in the Massachusetts 7th. When a Walgreens leaves a neighborhood, they disrupt the entire community and they take with them baby formula, diapers, asthma inhalers, life-saving medications, and of course, jobs. These closures are not arbitrary and they are not innocent. They are life-threatening acts of racial and economic discrimination. That is why I joined with Senator Markey and Warren to demand answers from Walgreens CEO. Why was there no community input, no adequate notice to customers, and no transition resources to prevent gaps in healthcare? Shame on you, Walgreens. Having a website with talking points about health equity and underserved communities is not enough. Walgreens is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that needs to put their money where their mouth is and stop
Gentlewoman's time
divesting
has
from
expired.
Black and brown communities.
What do you think?
I think it's bullshit.
Okay. Here, and this is also happening in DC. The capital of our, the capital of our country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear how the local residents complain. Let's hear how the local residents. So they won't punish blacks. So the stores have to close because they won't punish black juveniles.
Okay, so this is the same woman. She's a congresswoman for Boston.
No, this is a woman. No, this is a woman on. No, I'm just showing you another news clip. This is a woman on a news station.
Drugstore chains. It's
Okay,
closing
so
a
it's-
major location in one of the nation's biggest cities, which has seen a recent rise in retail crime. A CVS in Washington, D.C. has made headlines several times for shoplifters stealing so much shelves were sometimes picked bare.
See that? See all that?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, yeah. A lot of Asians. I hate Asian crime. Oh, wait.
This as smash and grabs in many stores are on the rise all across the country. And now comes word that a CVS store in D.C. will be shutting down next month, all as the D.C. Council is considering a bill that would increase charges for organized looting. NewsNation's Evan Lambert is live for us in D.C. And Evan, store closings as a direct result of this type of crime are really becoming a national trend.
Sure, we are seeing it across the country. This CVS that we're talking about here in Washington, D.C., it has gone viral in recent months because of videos circulating showing how barren the shelves are. Some customers even telling us they have seen groups of teens walk into the store and run out with merchandise time and time again. It's why this week even the shelves of that store are almost completely empty. We have learned that the store will be closing at the end of February, and customers, even security, saying that they can't keep these shelves stocked because of nonstop theft.
They just grab stuff and run out. Security officer can't, his job is not to chase people, but, as a deterrent. They don't feel deterred in the least bit.
The way I heard they got hit over here, as many times as they did, I really don't blame them.
It's just a matter of time.
In a statement to News Nation, CVS would not say if crime played a role in their decision to close the store, instead saying in part, quote, factors include local market dynamics, population shifts, a community's store density, and ensuring there are other geographic access points to meet the needs of the community. All in the last year or so, though, some major chains have not been afraid to place the blame on crime, with Target, Walmart, and Nike all attributing major closures in different cities across the country, at least in part, to retail crime and theft. As states are tightening laws to try to prevent organized retail theft, the nation's capital also
All right, one more. One more. Let's hear what the local black and white residents say about DC, right? I mean, you want to hear from the people, right? Let's hear from the weak white people.
Sad because you see the main contributing factor of this to be markups done by dealers of 35 and 65%, and you see them raking in record profits. So as the price goes up, their profits go up as well. They're not just accounting for, an incurrence of production cost. They're just raising the price as a part of their regular dealership markup, and people are really struggling. They need cars to go get groceries, go to work, what have you.
I think this is a huge misunderstanding of why people are taking cars. And I'll start with the fact, with your point on violent crime. Across the country, yes, violent crime decreased between 2020 and 2023 for a variety of reasons, not least of which being the end of the pandemic. But in major metropolitan cities, violent crime is still up. In fact, in DC, violent crime is up 39%. Carjackings have doubled, among other metrics. But on the issue of carjackings, the cars are not being stolen because people need cars to go get groceries. The cars are stolen and taken to chop shops where they are then torn apart and sold for profit.
And that's a lie too. That's not true. That's like 10% of the carjackings. So we still can't tell the truth about blacks. Here we go.
What are the other
business?
What?
Well, what are the other ones? Just joyrides where they wreck them, right? Destroy them?
They'll steal a car to commit a crime.
Oh, okay.
Or a joyride, yeah. All right, DC, one more. Let's hear what the whites and blacks how they feel about all their stores shutting down.
In DC's Columbia
The babies.
Heights neighborhood being repeatedly targeted by thieves. Take a look at this video here. Now the shelves are bare and empty. Fox 5 Sierra Fox in Northwest after checking it out and hearing from customers that are concerned about the 14th Street location.
Take a look here. When you walk into this CVS, you think the store is closing because there's barely anything on the shelves. In fact, the only items in stock are the ones that are locked up. I did ask an employee what gets stolen the most, and they just laughed and said everything. I spoke with multiple customers who say it's frustrating.
It makes me not want to shop there, to be honest. I go and get my prescription, and then when I need other things, I go elsewhere because there's nothing there to get.
According to people who work at the CVS in Columbia Heights, a big group of kids, like 45 or more, walk in before school, after school, and late at night to steal chips and drinks. They even throw the food and beverages on the ground and stomp on them, leaving behind a big mess. Fox 5 did witness teens doing that while inside the business and even after they walked outside. Staff at CVS have been alerted that thieves are aware of when new shipments come in, and that's when they target the store. We're told that street vendors are allegedly paying people to go in and steal stuff so they can resell it. When we walked down 14th Street in Northwest DC, we did notice street vendors selling toothbrushes, men and women body wash, car fresheners, as well as laundry and cleaning supplies, which are some of the same items no longer available at CVS. However, there is no direct evidence at this time that it did come from the store. Some DC residents we spoke with actually expressed sympathy towards the people wiping out the aisles.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
I'm stuck. I mean, it's bad to do. At the same time, they're probably doing it for a reason. They need those things, but they shouldn't just be going in and clearing the shelves because this isn't sustainable for the store.
A lot of folks actually can't afford any of the things in there. I'm not saying that ceiling has to be the solution to that, right? However, I don't know, maybe the city could provide more accessible resources to unhoused or under-income folks that can.
Access to resources. The city's got to give us more shit, yo. So you got congresswomen, activists, the community. You got to. Now let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So, carjackings are out of control in DC. 60% of the carjackings are by juveniles, black juveniles. And now suddenly they've discovered that black people like to make rap videos about the violence they've committed. And now they're acting like that's a new thing. So they interview a local DJ from DC. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. This channel, the guy who runs this channel is from DC. And he did what Obama did. He committed black flight. He moved to a little white town in Pennsylvania where he's the only black guy for miles. And he said there's no crime. So we're going to interview a local black DJ. And guess what he's going to say about the blacks doing what they're doing? You ready? What do you think he's going to say?
He's
It's
dying
pissed off.
inside. The last father of the kid was taking out between kids.
Or really for years. I don't want to date us here, but you've been doing it for quite some time. You heard me make mention of what this study found, and that is music videos now contribute or really a catalyst for gang members to really, let's say, communicate with one another.
Now this guy Flex, he's a DJ, been on the radio. He had a hit song in DC, Southeast. I wonder what he's gonna say, if he's gonna try to like keep his street cred, or is he gonna tell the truth? Because he kind of like a dude where he's like, you know, he can't go too hard on the brothers because he's down and shit. I want to see if he's gonna tell, you know, just tell what it is, because DC is a fucking war zone.
Rivals, and then that spurs violence. What do you say to that?
Well, it's been going on for a while, and it sucks, man, because what's happening is that something goes on in one neighborhood, they put a video up, and they actually go into this neighborhood and be on a block. It's a mess, man. This ain't the only city that is happening also, but it's real live here in DC where they doing this. And what it comes down to, it's about respect and status, and and people are dying, man.
Yeah.
It's like I get frustrated because some of the young people involved, they're treating this like it's a video game or something. You know what I mean? Like you get to start over once you get killed, and then once you kill, people don't know how to deal with their emotions, and so it turns to anger, and then all they want to do is revenge, and the cycle goes over and over. And the stuff they're doing is just decent. Some of these videos are well produced. Well produced, and then they just going on talking about the other neighborhood, talking about what they're gonna do and what they're doing. It's just bad, bro.
Yeah,
Bad.
well, I wanted to bring you on because, you know, it's no secret. We all know you obviously from the radio, but we also know you from the Water Dance, the song that you created in the video that went along with it. And so when I heard the word video, I said, you know what, we got to have Flex on because you actually created a music video. It was a different time back then. It's a different time now. Talk about the difference between what you did with regard to art and what these, well, let's say gang members are doing now.
Well, the difference is right now is technology, to be honest.
See, when we talked about killing people, it was art, yo.
With you, it's even a platform.
He's
because
deflecting
we
technology.
had to work hard because we had this. That's how we was gonna sell these records, and we had to get out there. People needed to see it, and when you had
You haven't heard anything yet.
something that was making noise and buzz, you had to share it with the world, and that's the way we could do it quickly with a video of it. But now you can with social media and everything else, man, you can put the same type of videos we was doing back in the day together in 15 minutes, you know, and it costs next to nothing, and the quality is amazing. So that is the big difference. Is technology
Oh my
has
God,
changed
he
the game for the
completely
whole, for everybody, and that's what
the
also
flat.
messes the industry up, because now anybody and everybody
He's not
thinks
done.
they can do it.
Yeah, one of the things that I will applaud you on is that you have always been a man of the people, and you've always had your ear to the streets, including, I would say, communicating with gang members. You had a series recently where you sat down and you spoke with a number of teens that actually thought it was okay to.
Black teens. He talked to black teens. Ain't no fucking Asians doing this. Ain't no fucking small hats doing this. Ain't no fucking Indians doing this. Why do they always do that? They conflate all groups commit the same crime. That's bullshit. He's not talking to no Korean kids.
Conduct carjackings. Talk about that.
All right, the show is called The Jacker. If you ever want to pull it up, go to wpgc.com/The Jacker. And I sat down with a real carjacker. Now, we did it on a Zoom call, so because I didn't know, I'm not gonna release my source, but somebody hooked me up with this guy who was living that life in them streets, jacking, and then he sat back and talked about why he does it. And the main part was because of lack of opportunities and things that was going. He really wasn't. He
Bullshit, man. It ain't nothing but opportunities in DC. That's bullshit. This DC's full of opportunities, man. If you listen,
It's just another way of blaming everybody else but himself. It's like, oh, it's not my fault I'm doing it. It's everybody else's fault.
yo, the town I live in Pennsylvania, them white kids don't have no programs. None. And before all these people from New York and Philly started coming up there was no crime. None.
Yeah, he's just playing the victim. Like, I'm carjacking because I'm a victim. It's unbelievable.
DC
A
got
victim
more
of no opportunity.
programs. Yo, DC, it's nothing but. Now listen, here's the thing. If you done killed some motherfuckers or you done shot up some motherfuckers' block, yeah, it might be too late to go to the program now because niggas looking for you and shit. Or you got beef, you know what I'm saying? But or you too deep into the streets, you know what I'm saying? You can't, your boys, you know what I'm saying? You can't even not hang with your boys because your boys ain't gonna let you not hang with them because, you know what I'm saying? You shooting motherfuckers coming back shooting up the block, and you over at the fucking program, fucking playing on computers and shit. You done fucking got our block out and shit. You better come over here and run through some of these bullets with us, man. So I get that, man. But at the genesis, before they get into all that trouble, there's plenty of programs for them, and even when they come home from prison, man.
Yeah,
so
but
I
like,
think that's bullshit.
what opportunity are you talking about? Like, you can't go get a job at Home Depot or Lowe's or.
Everybody who's an employee in there is black.
Oh, but his heart wasn't like frozen. Like he wouldn't.
So the one guy said, what about jobs at Home Depot or Lowe's? And Ak, who's from DC, said, if you go into a Lowe's or a Home Depot or a Walgreens in DC, everybody there's black because DC's like 70% black. And now this guy's going to finish. You ready? You ready for the best part?
Target said, hey, look, you're hiring over here. There's an opportunity for you right there. He's not going to take that opportunity.
Probably not.
He was cold, but his heart wasn't like frozen. Like he wouldn't jack old people. He wouldn't jack old people. That was his biggest thing. And he wouldn't like go like pregnant women, anything like that. But anybody else was game, especially cast.
Yo, he's got a code, yo. He's like a knight or a ninja. He's got a code.
That drove them Hellcats and all of that, they was targets. And he would explain how he would do it. You would think that the number one place to get jacked at would be at a gas station. He said, no, it's too many cameras. The number one place that he likes to get them at is he cases their house out and catch them when they go to work.
Wow.
Yeah. You're coming out to work and he'll run up to you with a gun in your face and steal your car. Yo, he's like a genius, yo.
And they told me how they
Like Hidden Figures, he's gonna be an astronaut.
fix the pods so that they can open the doors to the cars and they don't even need the keys. It's amazing. They're so smart, man. I'm like, wow, if you can focus this energy or just have an opportunity to use it, they are really geniuses.
He's deflecting from his past.
He just said it's not their fault.
Yeah, he's deflecting from his past. You know, he did it. He was asked a direct question about it, so he's going to be like all, bullshit because, he can't mess with the people that buy his product.
All right, one more. I had a whole theme for this. I'm trying to point this in a direction. So here's what happens when black people own stores in the neighborhood. You ever realize that everybody in the hood isn't black? It's like always Asians or Arabs or Indians. You ever wonder why that is?
Why they're in the hood? Because they're immigrants. Why there's no black businesses?
There we go. Why are all the black businesses owned by non-blacks? I have an answer.
You mean the businesses in the black community?
The businesses in the black community. There is a reason. I'm not saying this is the reason, but this is a reason. And the black guy on this show is Talib Starks. He's a social worker from Philadelphia.
There was a cell phone store in the hood, and one was black owned and the other was anything else owned. They would go to the anything else owned one just out of some sort of weird jealousy, or I don't know.
Well, it's the crabs in the barrel mentality.
Yes.
And I know it's cliche, heard the term 1,000 times, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's basically, how did you get that? And I did it. And then on top of that, the black person is always expected to do for blacks after he reaches a certain level. If you open a store, now you're expected to give stuff to blacks. Person comes in and I don't have it.
Right.
I'm $5 short. Can I? And if you say no, it's like, oh wow, you're gonna do me like that, brother? And,
Yeah, one of us made it. Help a brother out. Well, you see that with sports stars and their entourages, or any black celebrity in his entourage.
You see the effects.
He's got to divide everything he makes by 12 all of a sudden.
Absolutely, and that is part of the problem. Every black person, they expect the black person to always come back, and it's kind of it's bothersome because you don't get a chance to be an individual because you're expected. Even if you leave I always say the hood is not a place to personify. It's a place to escape.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think they're right on.
Now,
I've heard that.
All right. Do you think this whole black attitude with other store owners is a new thing?
Do I think it what?
Do you think it's a new thing?
No.
Do you think it's new? Do you think it's been around for a while? The sentiment
I think the depth and breadth of it is newer. It's grown, I think. It's
All right.
ridiculous. But they say what was his name? What was that really short Allen Iverson? He said he was supporting Cousins, his mother. People would not, he just supported everybody in his family, even when it was crazy. They said he had so many people he was supporting.
Yeah. All right. All right. We'll watch a little of this and then I got to step out, and I appreciate this. This is from 1989. This is a news special. Chicago blacks versus Arab grocery store owners. You ready for some of this? Remember I said that the theme of today's show is patterns. You think you're going to hear all the same shit you hear today? You ready? Of course, the news wasn't woke like it is now, you know.
The Arab merchants moving into the community, there's a strong insensitivity on the part of these merchants, in as much as they know little or nothing about the community, and they don't seem to be really concerned about the community and the situations that address the community.
What the fuck is he talking about? What situation do I need to fucking know? Do you have the money to buy it? Yes or fucking no, right? Now he's not at now I'll give him credit. He wasn't like the black guy in Boston who asked for $10 million, was he? You ready? Can you hear me? Are you gone? Yeah. Yeah. I lost the boomer. Well, let's play a little of the special.
If there is a store, he's a man trying to make a living. What difference does it make if he's an Arab or he's black?
I'll have to try that out. Anyway, I'm big time. I'll be back.